This video will take you through the steps to finalise Part 2, to commence Part 3A by registering the details of your fire engineer, and to complete Part 3B by answering the questions in the online system. To commence the Part 3 checklist, you will first need to finalise Part 2. From the Consolidated View tab, locate the building you are continuing the checklist for and open the Action drop-down list. Scroll down to find the Continue Checklist option and click this. You will enter into Part 2 where you uploaded the Statutory Declaration. Where you are asked, have you received an approved extension of compliance period? Answer no and click Submit. You will receive notification that you must continue to Part 3, so you're going to click the Continue Checklist button to commence the Part 3 checklist. You are now in Part 3A of the checklist. Part 3A of the checklist commences by confirming you have engaged a fire engineer to assess your building by ticking the box. You will enter that fire engineer's name, company name if applicable, RPEQ number, and contact details into the fields provided. These details can be found on page 2 of the Form 35 Fire Engineer Statement. Once you have entered the fire engineer's details, click Continue. You are now in Part 3B of the checklist where you are required to use the answers provided by the fire engineer in the completed Form 35 to answer the questions in the online system. Depending on your previous answers, some questions that appear in the Form 35 will not appear in the online system. Please ensure that you read the question completely so you are answering the questions in the online system exactly as they appear in the Form 35. Once you have answered the questions, the checklist will ask you to upload the Form 35 Fire Engineer Statement. Click the Upload Files button, which will allow you to locate this document on your computer, and then click Done when the upload is complete. The checklist will then ask you to upload the Building Fire Safety Risk Assessment. Click the Upload Files button, which will allow you to locate this document on your computer, and then click Done when the upload is complete. Once both documents are uploaded, select Continue. You are now on the Part 3 Statutory Declaration page. This Statutory Declaration is generated by the system and reflects the answers you have provided to the Part 3 checklist. You now need to download and print the Part 3 Statutory Declaration by clicking the Print button. This document must be printed and signed and dated by the owner or registered agent in the presence of a Justice of the Peace or other approved witness. Please note, the building owner's name must be entered here. Remember, the building owner could be an individual, a company, or a body corporate. You can now pause the process again by clicking the Close Checklist button in the top right corner of the screen, where you can make your way back to the consolidated view. When you are ready to upload the Part 3 Statutory Declaration, from the Consolidated View tab, locate the checklist you are progressing and select Continue Checklist from the Action drop-down list next to that building. You will now see the Statutory Declaration page. Click the Upload Files button, which will allow you to locate this document on your computer. Now that the Part 3 Statutory Declaration is uploaded, select the Submit button. A pop-up will appear, Checklist Completion Questions. The questions that appear in this pop-up will depend on what answers you have entered into the Part 3 checklist. The checklist does not allow you to close the checklist and come back to these questions later, so answer them the best you can. Please note, if your building has been identified as a cladding fire risk, please refer to the fact sheet Fire Safety Risk Building Owner Obligations available on the Resources page of the Safer Buildings website to ensure you are complying with any obligations you may have. Once you have answered all the required questions, select Save. You will now see a screen that states, based on the information you have provided, you have completed the combustible cladding checklist unless otherwise notified by QBCC. You can return to your list of buildings by selecting the Return to drop-down button and selecting Consolidated View. You will notice that the status of this building will have changed to Completed. Thank you.